High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/Varsity Media. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube. High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, softball, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Thank you for joining us at East Islip High School, Boomer Esiason Field, the site of this massive Suffolk County showdown. It is the East Islip Redmen and the defending Class C champions in Suffolk County, the nationally ranked Shoreham-Wading River Wildcats. I'm Gavin Shaw, lucky enough to be joined by my partner, Robert Anderson, here on Varsity Media. Robert, little bit of a chilly April day. It does not diminish the significance of this matchup between two of Suffolk's best.
No, it's 47 degrees at game time and really windy out there, but this is going to heat up right away as the Wildcats look to continue to make their stamp on Suffolk County lacrosse, and East Islip looking to hang.
Should be a good one. We're going to take a look at the road team first, Shoreham-Wading River, for their impact players. The first name could not be anyone else, Robert. We're going to start this off with Liam Kirschis, the Duke commit, one of the top-ranked players in America. As we take a look here, 5-star on Inside Lacrosse, 16th ranked player in the country. What makes him such a special player?
Yeah, as a Duke commit, he's obviously got a lot of skills out there. He's a tremendous dodger. He can shoot and finish, stronger in the weight room, and he's a guy who's got 20 points in his last 2 games, Gavin. That's an average of 10 a game. Insane.
Yeah, that's a number where you double, you triple check, you ask the coaches, are you sure? You call the stats people. And then Liam Taylor, excellent defender, son of head coach Mike Taylor in his 10th year, a Bryant commit. He is ultra physical. I mean, even his dad says, look, sometimes we have to tell him to tone it down, but you'd always rather tell a kid to tone it down than to turn it up in the game of lacrosse.
Yeah, in every game you got to have the skill guys like Kirschis and the hard-working guys like Taylor. Taylor out there, high IQ for the game, physical, and we'll battle anybody out on that field.
All right, so we will step aside. We'll come back with more on Shoreham-Wading River, and then we'll tell you about East Islip next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Dante does it again!
Defensive play. Dante Zadaro.
Yeso steps up and scores.
A jump shot for Nell.
Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
Got it.
All right, now we're going to take a look at the Shoreham-Wading River starting lineup. They return the bulk of their stars from a season ago. Alec Gregoric graduated, the leading scorer in Suffolk County, but so much talent back. We already told you about Liam Kirschus and how good he is. How about Liam Gregoric? We'll tell you more about that incredible family as the game goes along. His younger brother, Noah, starting as an 8th grader in this one. Ryan Wilson, Alex Kirschus, returners from a year ago. And then this is a veteran defense, Robert.
Absolutely, yeah. You got a veteran defensive team here with Liam Taylor. We already spoke highly about him. Kieran Clifford, Dan Green, and Jaden Galfano. Galfano, another player that we're going to highlight later on.
All right, so now we'll take a quick look at the key players for East Islip, our impact players for the Redmen. And the first name, similar to Liam Kirschus, kind of obvious, a nationally ranked recruit. It's Matt McEntee. What a season a year ago, 85 points, 46 goals. And then Charlie Kalinowski, such a threat with that long stick on defense.
McEntee, incredible speed, a finalist for the 300-meter sprint, two-handed shooter. He's going to be a threat out there the entire time. And as you said, Kalinowski injured the shoulder early on, but worked on that footwork, and he's making a difference out on that field.
And we'll take a quick look at the starting lineup for East Islip as we're about to get going here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Ethan Bernardo, Sean Hannigan, just a freshman. He's the future of this program. Ryan Parker back for his first game. Someone to watch. A lot of new guys on defense, but East Islip is confident in their personnel on that side of the ball. As we are about to get going, opening face-off to start this one, going to be between Camden Bloom, one of 3 options for East Islip, as he'll do battle with Liam Gregoric here. Gregoric 61% as part of a face-off duo on the season. He'll get the opening win, and Shoreham-Wading River will start with the ball. It was a big issue, Robert, for East Islip in this game a year ago, 14-5 win for Shoreham-Wading River, and we saw the Wildcats just dominate at face-off at points in that game, and were able to run away with it because they kept having possession.
And you can see here right out of the gate a strong win on the face-off, and they're working that perimeter right now. The defense for East Islip playing a pretty conservative right now zone.
They are traditionally a zone team. They're playing a lot more man-to-man this year as the pass finds Andrew Semino, the sophomore, cut off well, that time by Jack Kalinowski.
Gregoric just attempting that dodge there. I thought better of it and then cycled it back out.
Yes, he's tagged by Charlie Kalinowski. So I think, Robert, that might be the strategy. Put your best defender on the second option in Liam Gregoric, and then maybe double Kirschus, who you mentioned has just been so dominant. 20 points these last 2 games. Kirschus wearing number 5 today. Dodging here is his brother Alex, and he'll lose the ball. East Islip ultra fired up for this game. They were embarrassed by their performance a year ago, came into that game so hot, and that was the game that sent Shoreham-Wading River on a run to a state championship as Walendowski collects the impressive save. He's had some of the better moments of any high school lacrosse player in the country this year. We'll show you those as we go along, but first in transition, it's Galfano on the doorstep denying the freshman Sean Hannigan.
And you got to appreciate there, East Islip just taking that ball end to end, not dilly-dallying and trying to put some pressure on early, but Galfano ready for it. 2 nice saves early on for both of these keepers.
Talking to head coach Tom Zumo, he said, look, these are 2 teams that know each other extremely well, a lot of experience playing against each other, a lot of teammates who are on Legacy Lacrosse, a travel team that is co-run by Tom Zumo and Shoreham-Wading River coach Mike Taylor.
And here's Liam Taylor right now with the ball on cue.
And an early timeout taken by Mike Taylor. I think, Robert, probably not quite liking the pace that this game is being played and how easily East Islip worked the ball on that counterattack.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, maybe he wants his team to create a little pressure. This is a team, again, that's a champion, so under no pressure to try to get things done. They know how to play their game. Also very methodical right now. You know, next year there's going to be an 80-second shot clock, so it's going to be a lot different offensively for these teams.
All right, and maybe we can take an opportunity to take a look at the 2 goalies for both these teams. In net for East Islip, it's going to be Drew Walendowski, one of the best goalies in Suffolk a year ago. Tom Zumo mentioned he has a flair for the spectacular. Robert, we got to see that on our Varsity Media airwaves this year with a save that ended up on the Lacrosse Network as a top 10 play. You almost never see high school plays get that kind of run. Last season, incredible, 159 saves, saving 55% of his shots as we take a look down 5-1 against Syosset. Robert, I'll lay out. What happens here?
I mean, it's just an absolutely phenomenal athletic effort. He just throws the stick. Obviously not a legal play, but take a look at this. Just one-handed, acknowledges that the ball's about to release, and you couldn't time it any better. I mean, that's going to be a highlight reel for a long time.
It is something you would see in the Matrix and probably not believe. It has 1 million views on social media, so shout out to our Varsity Media videographers for capturing that so brilliantly. And, I mean, it just gives you an idea of the hand-eye. And here's the thing. You saw the score. Syosset was up 5-1. That flipped the game. East Islip went on to win that game, stalled up Syosset's momentum, and we were doing a game a few weeks ago with a member of the Syosset coaching staff. He was saying, like, don't show me that video again. That's disgusting. I can't see that.
And the timing to actually land it in that. You see hockey goalies do that sometimes. They just toss the stick, but the timing to get it in the net, and what a beautiful save. So
Shoreham setting their offense up out of the timeout. It's Kirschus. And now Liam Gregoric. It's sort of this is one of those inflection points for Shoreham's young attackman. We mentioned in the open, Noah Gregoric, and 8th grader Andrew Semino, just a sophomore Robert, and having to adjust to the speed and physicality this East Islip team brings to the table, and just having the stakes of playing in such a big game. As that ball slips loose, and there's the opener. Alex Kirschus, one of the veterans, gets Shoreham-Wading River on the board.
And all the credit there to Ryan Wilson to find him in that open lane. A beautiful pass, and that was just too much for Walendowski to handle. Bang, bang play. And we'll get another look at it here. And again, it's Ryan Wilson. Goes in for the dodge, backs it off, finds that open lane. The attempt there by Cooper to try to stop it, but boom, top right corner. And nothing that Walendowski could do about that one.
Kirschus knows how to bury it. His 7th goal on the season. A Navy commit. Was originally heading to Dartmouth. It's pretty interesting because Liam Gregoric, his teammate, he was originally going to Navy. Now he's going to Johns Hopkins, so I guess Navy has to be happy they're getting one Wildcat out of it. Liam Kirschus showing you the speed, and there's another face-off win. Something to note for Shoreham-Wading River. That is an area, East Islip, they play 3 different face-off guys. They have a competition before every game. Camden Bloom won it yesterday to earn the start, but they have a couple different ways they can go. Charlie Kalinowski can take face-offs. Chase Canfora can take face-offs. And they might need to vary it up against Liam Gregoric, as that's a little bit of an easier effort for Walendowski, and Kalinowski will break the other way.
Got to give Kirschus a little credit there, though, for trying to catch him off guard, just cradling, looking like he was going to go pass and put it on the net. So 3 shots right now for the Wildcats.
And so here's our first look at this East Islip attack in a settled situation. Obviously, they were excellent on this side of the ball a year ago, brought back basically every key piece and added a new one. He has the ball right now. Matt Ferraro, the transfer from Islip, tic-tac-toe passing. Hannigan, the diving shot, and a flag. I think he was pushed in the back. If not, it would have been a crease violation, but it looks like it's going to be East Islip ball on the cross-check. Let's take another look.
Yeah, we'll get the look at it here again. I thought it was a crease violation out of the gate. But, oh, yeah, that's a shove. Just 2 sticks there. George Green putting that stick in the hips of the forward there, and here we go.
Yeah, so it should be a minute on the penalty. Green, the athletic long stick defenseman, will head to the bench, and an early opportunity here for East Islip to tie things up.
And like you said, it's going to be a 1-minute penalty. That's a indirect hit there. So it goes in minute intervals, 1, 2, or 3. 3 is the flagrant. That one not considered flagrant. That'll be a power play.
On for the man down is McEntee. His ball will be chopped short, battled for by Baldino. And this would be a big forced turnover, trying to scoop it up, but unable to do so is Danny Green. And now the shot will be fired in, tying it up at 1 goal apiece is Matt McEntee.
And McEntee there with a laser beam of a shot. We'll get another look at it there, but beautiful job down in the right corner. And here, once again, you can see McEntee setting up, just kind of creeping in there. And the ball on the stick, and Gavin, there is nothing Galvano can do there.
McEntee, not only the hardest shot on this team, one of the hardest shots in Suffolk County. You see the speed on that ball, speed on the field. Matt McEntee, a play finisher coming off a monster 4-goal, 1-assist performance against Smithtown West, and building right off it to tie this game up.
And his coach said he's a lax kid all day, all night. And, again, you can't ever discredit that two-handed attack. I mean, that makes him so valuable to this team.
Robert, you and I got a chance to watch him on the football field winning a Long Island championship this year, had around 160 yards in that game. I mean, he runs about a 4.4, just flat out one of the better athletes, period, to come through Long Island over the last couple of years. And right on cue, there's East Islip's first face-off win.
And we discussed it on the way here, the athleticism on this island when it comes to lacrosse. I mean, they churn out D1 athletes left and right, and today we have the pleasure of watching a lot of that talent on this field.
All right, so we will step aside with 7 minutes to go in the opening quarter. 1-1 ball game. Matt McEntee ties it up for East Islip here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, softball, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
All right, 1-1 ball game, 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Good opportunity to take a look at our keys to the game, keys to success for both sides. East Islip, what do they have to do to win this game, Robert?
Well, right there, redemption for last year on the offensive side, and that's going to involve defensively. Also, Drew Walendowski doing some huge things for this team, which we've seen him do, and force Shoreham-Wading Rivers underclassmen to try to beat them. Keep the big guys off the board.
And on the flip side, for sure, I mean, can those young guys hold up? I mean, we've seen early Semino, Gregoric. This is going to be a growing up process, and I think what Mike Taylor's doing, this is what he's always done as a coach, and why they've won 4 Long Island championships, 5 Suffolk championships under him. It's the philosophy of we want to peak at the end of the year. We don't really care about winning games in the regular season. East Islip certainly does, as there's a connection. McEntee to Heffernan, and just like that, they're up 2-1.
And now you see McEntee's skill on both sides. That beautiful shot, but here just laying in that pass and finding Heffernan high. And Heffernan, a big boy, again, big frame, two-handed, and he can finish in tight spots. We'll get another look at it here.
And Heffernan without Ryan Parker this year, monster start to his season, and we see it on display, Robert.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. Even McEntee's poise just to step in there and kind of no-look pass it. And just like that, East Islip asserting themselves early, 2-1 lead here with 6:45 remaining.
For Heffernan, that was already his 10th goal on the season, 14th point, third leader in that category for East Islip. Violation on the face-off, so East Islip evening it up there a little bit. Again, on paper, Shoreham had an advantage there coming into this one, but if East Islip can keep it even, they certainly feel they have the offensive talent this year to play with Shoreham.
And when you take a look at a guy like Heffernan, 6'2", he's just a big body and tough to deal with down low.
Attacking from up top, here's McEntee showing off that 4.4 speed, trying to squeeze in a pass. Shoreham all over it, smothering it that time defensively was Ryan Wilson.
Yeah, but I'm really impressed with just East Islip's tenacity right now. They are playing so aggressively with Shoreham-Wading River doing a little more of a methodical game, and it's paying off early here for the Redmen.
And Kieran Clifford kicking that ball. That's why he wasn't allowed to run away with it. East Islip will get to start off on the stick of Ryan Parker. Again, his first game of the season, an all-county performer a year ago, and the junior trying to get off to a hot start to the year. Tic-tac-toe passing shot ripped from up top. A laser from McEntee. An electric start for the senior, and East Islip has ripped off 3 goals in a row.
It is the M&M show. Matt McEntee, just another beautiful play there, and you can see how that play was set up. It was Ryan Parker getting the ball down low to Baldino. Baldino all the way across, and what a finish from McEntee.
And both these teams, just a group of guys who have played together. I mean, for Shoreham-Wading River's case, in second grade, East Islip, a lot of these guys have played together since grade school, and they incorporated Ferraro and Tom Zumo has just said it's been a seamless fit. The skill sets are so complementary across the board, and McEntee as a senior, just an innate sense of when to shoot, when to pass.
And we'll see now if Shoreham-Wading River can do a little bit of a better job in that transition game, maybe get a little bit more aggressive on their side, because they are going to have to keep Walendowski on his toes, and so far they're not really pressuring him that much.
Gorick now 3 for 5 on face-off. The Johns Hopkins commit, the most accurate shooter on this team. Really good on the run. You see it on display here. Walendowski able to knock it out.
And just like that, we go the other way. But again, now you're starting to see that aggressive nature of the Wildcats with the stick work.
Yeah, I mean, how about this battle for the ground ball? I mean, a lot of times, like we talk about the talent on both sides, we talk about the scoring, the skill, comes down to those ground balls.
And you see the physicality of Kalinowski there, just using his body, too, to get guys off the ball.
Shoreham comes up with it. Kalinowski now tracking Kirschus, who we should note, relatively quiet start with just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
So far. But again, it's a young man with a high IQ for this game. And he's been playing it a long time.
Noah Gregorek, the 8th grader, diving shot, did not have an angle to the cage. Kirschus will come up with the ground ball.
Give him an A for effort there for that little dodge and scoop.
Liam Kirschus, one of the 3-star Liams, can't squeeze it in.
So far in both of those shooting opportunities, trying to take it from behind the net and cut off Walendowski's vision line there.
We have to ask Mike Taylor at some point if he has nicknames. He's 3 Liams, 2 Gregoreks, 2 Kirschus's. He's a Taylor. His son's a Taylor. It just has to get confusing.
It's got to be confusing.
Ryan Wilson, tricky footwork.
Imagine coaching George Foreman's kids.
Oh, yeah, that'd be tough. They'd be grilling you all day. Did you ever own one of those? Those are great.
I did. I think
little
anybody
start and stop. Time, space, and the delivery from Gregorek swallowed up by Walendowski, who's lived up to his last name. Has been a wall so far.
I like that one.
That one was easier. I appreciate it, though. Heffernan tripped up and an infraction on East Islip. So Liam Taylor looking for the home run ball to start off the clear. Battling the ride successfully is Alex Kirschus.
And to that prior shot, Walendowski making that look easy. You know, that was a tough little bounce shot there by Gregorek. But it shows you how skilled Walendowski is.
I mean, both these goalies, even a year ago, were considered 2 of the best in Suffolk County. Walendowski's got a lot better in terms of his understanding of defensive concepts, and he's going to have a challenge here as that one is cranked off the left post and is much better in the clear game. But you see the strength of his game. We mentioned Kenny do the spectacular against Liam Kirschus and company, and so far has come up with those big-time saves.
Yeah, really big-time saves. And you can see there he got a little help from the pipe, but some frustration there as that shot was missed. But what a lane they just gave. Got to clean that up. Can't let him go for that alley dodge and get in there that easily.
And we should note, this is very similar to the game from last year where East Islip went up 3-1 in that matchup, and then Shoreham scored 11 of the next 12 goals. So East Islip certainly cannot be comfortable. And I'm sure Tom Zumo spent this whole week reminding them of what happened last season. Oh, a magic trick! Ryan Parker from his knees. He is back in spectacular fashion.
You just said it, 3-1, and they got to make it 4, and what a shot. I had my hands on my head. It was hard to not scream on that one. We'll take another look here, and just a sensational play all around. Tic-tac-toe on his knees, and Ryan Parker getting that bounce right past Galfano on the right side, and it's 4-1 in favor of the Redmen. Just an absolutely incredible play there, Gavin.
He almost used it to his advantage that he's on. Because it created that super weird bounce. So you could tell Galfano was like, what am I dealing with here?
And it was tough to tell if he lost his footing or he got interfered with. It didn't look like there was going to be a penalty called on the play. Yeah, but the wherewithal to get that shot off.
That's in basketball, you're screaming and one on that.
And one, right. What a great shot, though.
And here's Ferraro, the BU commit. Pretty quiet start for him statistically, just 2 goals, 3 assists still assimilating into the East Islip system, but he is super familiar. He's played a lot of lacrosse with these guys in the offseason, in the club system, knows exactly what he's getting into, and kind of rounds out this midfield where you don't really know who to long pole as a defense. A little start and stop for him.
Yeah, that's been all Redmen so far. After that first goal, they just kind of took over, and the aggressive play is paying off.
McEntee looking for an angle, draws the slide. Extra pass, ducking in, and Ferraro fired that one wide. Or Ferrero, excuse me.
And the way they move that ball, the McEntee-Baldino connection down there, they're just finding space. It's like they instinctually know where the other one's going to be.
And just a lot of time playing together. And it all starts with McEntee. As he's pressured by George Green. Green is super athletic, just a youngster. Someone Mike Taylor super high on as a sophomore. Already has a goal this year. McEntee, though, jukes him out of his shoes there.
Baldino looking down low there for Ferrara. Loses a handle on it.
Yeah, Ferrara trying to catch and fire in one motion. Ball skirts out and streaking the other way for Shoreham. Kieran Clifford.
McEntee on his tail, but great space created. And a goal just like that. It is 4-2. McEntee couldn't catch up. And it's Kieran Clifford putting it in the net.
Yeah, that is Clifford. I mean, a long stick. His first goal of the year. Let's take another look at it.
And you see McEntee in pursuit, but nothing but space created as he gets closer. Doesn't wait for the defenders to go and swarm on him. Gets that ball in there in the cage, and it's now 4-2 in favor of the Redmen.
And Robert, that just feels like one of those plays that can flip momentum. You always hear coaches talk about what a long pole goal does for a team and firing them up.
And again, aggressive. You know, it feels like, again, so far the Wildcats have really been methodical in what they're doing, trying to set things up where East Islip just trying to jam it down their throats the entire time. And there's an end-to-end run there and a beautiful goal.
Shoreham with possession opportunity to make it a one-goal game.
It also shows you the kind of speed that Clifford has, that he created that much space between him and McEntee with the ball.
Played three different positions for this team. Finding an angle, finding a goal. Liam Gregoric, and just like that, it's a one-goal game with 38 seconds to go in what's been a scintillating opening quarter.
You said not to nap on it, and we'll get a look here as Gregoric just takes that quick shot. And a frustrated Walendowski. He thought he should have had it there. But they've been playing those angles really well on him from behind the crease, you know, coming out from the sides, and it's been a difficult run there for Walendowski as far as vision goes.
Gregoric's 12th goal on the season. We mentioned he's ultra dangerous on the run. You see it there, trying to take a face-off. And that time Shoreham actually switched it up. They went with Michael Clemente on the wing. And Shoreham will have the ball. Opportunity to tie. Final 33 seconds of this first quarter.
And Alex Kirsch's back in the game for those 33 seconds.
He's tagged by Jack Kalinowski.
So using the clock to their advantage right now, but it's dwindling down and swarming.
I mean, there's the physicality, right? Ryan Parker, Charlie Kalinowski. He wants a long pole goal of his own. He'll leave it off. One-on-one at the cage. Galfano eats the shot by Baldino. Hail Mary the other way. Not enough time. And thus ends maybe the best first quarter of lacrosse I've seen this season, Robert.
Yeah, sensational back and forth game, and we'll take a look at this one. And what a run there by Kalinowski. But you got to love that Kalinowski decided to dish it off instead of taking it himself as he had that sprint going right towards the net.
All right, so we'll step aside. That's it for 4-3 East Islip after the opening quarter of play. A thrilling end. Kalinowski coast to coast, and Jaden Galvano says, not this time. 4-3 East Islip after one on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Dante does it Terrific again! Defensive play. Dante Zadaro
score.
A jump shot for Nell.
Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
Second quarter about to get underway here on Varsity Media. East Islip a 4-3 lead, but first we want to thank our excellent sponsor, the Long Island Metropolitan Lacrosse Foundation. The mission of the Long Island Metropolitan Lacrosse Foundation is to spread the positive spirit of lacrosse and support the highest ethical standards for all participants through annual initiatives including targeted grants, scholarship programs, lacrosse educational clinics, and events to raise awareness and resources in support of the game. So second quarter about to get rolling. That was thrilling, Robert. 4-1 lead for East Islip, who ripped off 4 in a row after Shoreham got the opening goal of the game. Matt McEntee putting in some work. Shoreham, 2 late goals to get within 1.
And as far as I'm concerned, and Gavin, you could let me know if you saw the same thing, the difference just seemed to be that aggressive nature of the game. Shoreham decided we're just going to start getting more physical and take it to the net, and it paid off. Still down by 1, but cutting that lead down.
Yeah, and look, both teams have played some great opponents to start this year. Shoreham getting pushed by Comsawag in a 13-11 game. East Islip already pushing in transition here. Had that battle versus Syosset, but make no mistake. I mean, these might be the most 2 talented teams on the public school side of Long Island, period. It's a wake-up call, right, Robert, to see in a team and they're like, all right, I'm actually not faster than this guy. I actually might not be better than this guy, and still figure out a way to win.
Yeah, that says a lot to coaching and just the program in general. And we've talked about this with certain organizations, certain high schools all over the island. There's teams that just crank out winner after winner, and it becomes a culture.
Yeah, that certainly is a fair descriptor of Shoreham. 8 county titles, 5 Long Island championships, 4 New York State titles in their school history. Last one coming in 2019. East Islip, it's a little different. They've never won Suffolk County. This, has an opportunity to be their best team, at least in modern school history. Swing it around here. Ferraro trying to go one-on-one. Cut off well that time by Sean Casey. And Kalinowski will get a touch. The Stony Brook commit, just a junior. How many teams have that kind of luxury? A Stony Brook commit who's a second-line midfielder. Bernardo's has a step, slings a shot in, bounces high. Deflected right out to Kieran Clifford, who had that long pole goal to wrap up the first quarter, but now it's Kalinowski emerging from the back.
And a good job there getting into that slide position to stymie that scoring attempt.
Oh, nasty roll dodge by Ferraro, but I think he juked himself there as Ryan Wilson ultimately came up with the ball.
Everybody's competing for that highlight reel after the Walendowski save.
Yeah, we saw the Great Wall of Drew have a couple of signature stops in that first quarter.
And Varsity Media getting the views.
Over 1 million. That's crazy.
Well, something like that's going to be your bread and butter for a while.
Andrew Semino ducking in, firing, and tying the game at 4 apiece.
An incredible move there. A little fake out. Looked like he was going to dodge. And then a little spinorama move there, Gav. And we're tied. Just like that. You predicted it. So we take a look here. And what a move. Look at the footwork here. Going left. And then, boom, the little spin. Looked like Dennis Savard. Anybody knows hockey. And then that shot over the left shoulder.
And Robert, one of our keys to the game, right, for East Islip, make the youngsters beat them. For Shoreham, can the young guys step up? Check for Shoreham, X for East Islip. Semino, showing you how much talent he has.
And just in general, when you look at how this team dodges, it takes so much athleticism, stick work, footwork, and the footwork absolutely incredible to do that spin.
I think it's a great point because you take it for granted. You don't think of the hours and years of work put in to pull off a move like that. It's not just talent.
No, and there's an element of athleticism to it, but just knowing the game, the wherewithal, and finding the lane, and then to go beat a goalie like that.
And just the savviness for as a sophomore to set it up, is to your point, it was that inside foot, then roll dodge the opposite way. And here's Kirsch as he had the first goal of the day for Shoreham-Wading River. And East Islip, I mean, if you're Tom Zumo, I wonder if he takes a timeout next time, because you're probably having those flashbacks to last year where you got out to that initial lead and then Shoreham just utterly dominated the game from there. If you're the Wildcats, you're saying, hey, we'll take a little deja vu.
You just hope that the Redmen continue to keep that pressure on and not fall back. You know, that you start seeing ghosts after a while.
That ball slung out of play, back up there for Shoreham. So it'll start off with Noah Gregoric following in the footsteps of his older brother, Alec, who was a starter as an 8th grader on that 2019 state championship team. So Alec only just graduated last year when he led Suffolk County in goals with 70. Noah, the youngest of 5 brothers. We're going to show you a cool little graphic made up on all 5 of them later on in this game, but it is an incredible family that has defined Shoreham-Wading River lacrosse. You got to look back, and I mean, it started with Gavin as they toss it in, and there's another finish. Oh, I thought he might have been in the crease. Brendan Meskill able to keep his footing and just pour one in over the shoulder of Walendowski.
And it looked like it was Brendan McCaffrey that was on his heels. No shove or anything like that. Not a crease violation. And a great goal there. McCaffrey putting some pressure on, but not enough.
So it's good to say it's now been Gavin Gregoric, I believe, started his high school career, senior in 2019. I mean, if he was on as an 8th grader, it would have been all the way back in 2015. So you're going to have Gregoric's leading this Shoreham-Wading River team from 2015 to 2028. And before that, they had the Millers on their team. That was about 16 years of brothers. Will Miller, the last of them, graduating a season ago. Tom Zumo calling for time. Is this a repeat of 2023? A 3-1 lead, got to 4-1, and since then 4 straight goals for Shoreham-Wading River, Robert.
Yeah, this is an important timeout for Zumo to have at this time. You know, he is an Islip legend. He's in the High School Hall of Fame over here, and Zumo knows that he's got to get his team collected and ready to roll.
And let's take a look at that Gregoric graphic. We made it just for the alliteration, but look at the run these kids have had. I mean, Gavin Gregoric, an All-American, All-State, All-Long Island performer, now playing at Navy, teamed up on that legendary 2019 team. Johnny Schwartz now starring for North Carolina. Xavier Arline, now at Navy. He's the starting quarterback for Navy and the leading scorer on the lacrosse team. I mean, just like a once-in-a-lifetime athlete, unless you're Shoreham-Wading River, because they seem to tune them out every 5 years. Zach Gregoric was on that team. We mentioned what Alec did last year, Long Island best, 70 goals. And now you have 2 in Liam and Noah that are kind of the next guys up.
Yeah, and take a look at that. I mean, just the picture tells you everything, right? You can see the generational gap there, the little one, and the beard, and a proud dad in the middle of that.
Oh, I think that's Mike Taylor, actually.
Oh, sorry, Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh,
he is a proud dad of sorts.
He's a proud father.
Of sorts. You're a coach, Robert. You're kind of a second father figure.
Sometimes a first. Like sometimes you spend more time with them than their families. But Taylor in the middle.
To be clear, I think that's Mike Taylor. I'm not 100%. Maybe it is their dad. I don't know. Well, I probably should have asked when we got the photo. We'll double check that. But I loved. We didn't get a chance to read through it, but I love that quote on Noah, and this is from Mike Taylor. I remember Noah in diapers at our practice attempting over-the-back goals on the sideline. He didn't know how to use a toilet, but he knew how to do over-the-back goals. Robert, I cannot at 28 do an over-the-back goal, and I'm pretty good with the toilet.
I was going to say,
yeah, not perfect. None of us are perfect, but pretty good. And I mean that's extraordinary. It gives you an idea that if that was his trajectory, I mean he should be ready to play college ball as an 8th grader.
Without a doubt.
That's a big win of possession here for East Islip. McEntee trying to restart the Redmen flame. Ball movement for the Redmen. Shot slung on. Galfano couldn't save it, and the backup was there in the form of Ethan Bernardos. I mean, East Islip, it is a luxury of riches with this offense. We told you Ferraro, they haven't gotten him super involved. You barely said the name of Sean Hannigan, who Tom Zumo thinks is a future top 10 recruit, not on Long Island, but in the country. And there's a throwaway. McEntee looking for Heffernan, and Shoreham will have an opportunity to continue this run.
And as you said, Heffernan getting that goal, but otherwise pretty quiet. McEntee's been the star for the Redmen so far. And back to what you say about Taylor. When you have a relationship where you see these kids growing up on a field and you have that family, as a coach, it's, oh, goodness.
And there's Alex Kirschis, coast to coast. His second goal, 5 straight for Shoreham-Wading River.
5 unanswered, and we'll take another look at it. You take a look at Alex here. He's a Dartmouth commit and nothing but speed. And he's got the big man, Kalinowski, on his heels the entire time, but the long stick couldn't get involved there. And it's now 6-4, 5 unanswered goals. After that first one, it looked like it was 4 unanswered there by the Redmen. Looked like they were in the driver's seat. And what a flip.
Again, just a dubious deja vu for East Islip. Little eerie on their side. You got to imagine, it's just so many of the same players on both teams. And I think Tom Zumo going to take the opportunity to talk things over again as Mike Taylor claps it up on the other sideline. We'll step aside for just a second here on Varsity Media. 5 straight goals for Shoreham-Wading River. We'll see if East Islip can respond next on the Varsity.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Dante does it Terrific again! Defensive play. Dante Zadaro. Illico ties it up.
By Yeso steps up and scores.
A jump shot for Nell.
Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
6-4 lead for Shoreham-Wading River as they've scored 5 consecutive goals. Robert, we were talking, first of all, what an echo this was of that game weight we had last year, but also, if you're Tom Zumo, what are you saying in that huddle? And you can sense maybe like a little bit of panic on your team.
You 100% sense it because it's like we've been here before and it's going to be the same result. You're managing high school age kids. It's a difficult thing, but you need those moments sometimes as a coach where, watching Miracle and Friday Night Lights, you get that speech that you just try to get them motivated to change the energy. And so far, we've seen it. It's a momentum game. It was 1-0, and then 4 unanswered by the Redmen, and then 5 unanswered by the Wildcats. You just want to create that momentum, have that moment, and let them know that it's possible. But you need that next goal.
And now it'll go the other way. Kirschis to Wilson. 6 in a row for Shoreham-Wading River.
Yeah, so that timeout, while well-intentioned, didn't pay off. And we'll take a look at that one. Ryan Wilson getting wide open. And covered by for Wilson to find that space like that and get crushed at the same time by Ryan Parker during that shot tells you everything you need to know. They're scoring every which way. And right now, the Redmen defense have their heads on a swivel.
And just so tough as you want to pay all the attention in the world to Liam Kirschis. Again, his head coach, Mike Taylor, called him perhaps the best attack man in America this year. A lot of national services are pretty close to agreeing with that, and Shoreham just has other guys that can beat you.
And just how quick they're scoring the goals. They were setting everything up early on in the game, and now we're not predicting these things to happen. They're just shooting from everywhere.
And it's a big face-off win for East Islip, just desperately needing possession, maybe even just one goal to mentally get back on track, even more so than getting it close on the scoreboard. Ferraro circling and losing its Baldino, able to scoop it back. Got to imagine winning the football Long Island Championship really beneficial to East Islip, even across sports, just psychologically. Because I remember talking to Southside, and they were saying, winning Nassau County this past year made such a big difference to them, and just knowing like, hey guys, we're we can get over that ledge athletically. We're good enough to win a championship. We just have to go and do it.
And you can see that early on, that confidence there.
Ferraro will reset. Parker shooting space. And Galfano just able to get the mouth of his stick on that ball. Still a better, extended, healthier possession here for East Islip.
Yeah, controlling possession, having a few shots and collecting them back up. Moving the ball well.
And totally uncovered. Baldino will put that in with ease. He almost paused for a second, Robert, saying, "You're going to leave me alone?" Bet.
Yeah, and then he found that lane, and that's where being a lefty pays off. As we take another look. Yeah, you can see he took that little look and then just shot it with ease down to the right side of Walendowski.
Breaks a 6-0 run, and get this, he is shooting in lacrosse. I mean, 40%, right? Ridiculously good number in terms of shot percentage. Shooting 93% coming into this game this year. 13 goals on 14 shots. I'm not sure if he took a shot early. If he hasn't, he'd be 14 for 15 now on the season.
And having a strong lefty like that can cradle the ball the way that he does and get those shots off is such a luxury for a coach. And you saw him just own that side.
So here we go. Caden Bloom able to skirt it back, but on the wing, McEntee missed it. Bloom was able to get back there, but on the ride, Shoreham will get it back. It was Liam Kirsch's coming in, knocking that ball away. Now numbers for Shoreham. Noah Gregoric trying to go too fast, and East Islip will return fire. The Redmen streaking down the field. Oh, what a pass! And Hannigan put it in low! Momentum return to the home team, and East Islip is back within one.
And I knew to shut up on that drive. Just when you were looking at it, they were moving that ball. And what a possession there. The athleticism to get it down low and get that shot. And a costly turnover there for the Wildcats.
That was one of the better passes I've seen this season from any player. Matt Baldino setting up Sean Hannigan.
I said a little earlier, you see Baldino really kind of quarterback this team well. Him and McEntee passing, with their eyes closed. They know where each other are out there. And Baldino kind of a quiet hero for the Redmen in this game.
And what an effort by Bloom, filling some big shoes with Stephen Coleman, graduating a year ago now, playing at Jacksonville, one of the best face-off guys in Suffolk County last season. And he's gotten better and better as this one has gone along. And how about the response from East Islip, right? We said, were they going to fall apart like last year, or were they going to find something and right on cue they throw it away? Sorry, guys. And here comes Semino with company on the run. Guess who? Liam Kirschis has his first.
And Semino's just taking that ball and gets that pass off. And just a straight run to the net there. Take a look at this shot. Bouncer right between the wickets there. And Liam Kirsch is doing what he does best, making it look easy. They're giving him a lot of space out there, too.
Shoreham, we mentioned it, has had some extraordinary talent come through this program. Chris Gray, of course, went on to one of the best careers in college lacrosse history at North Carolina. Xavier Arline, just flat out one of the best athletes I've ever seen playing lacrosse at the high school level, excelling at Navy. And Liam Kirschis grew up training with both those guys. Since he was in third grade, he got to work with those two. And Mike Taylor says he has Gray's IQ with Arline's athleticism. In Shoreham terms, that is basically calling a kid God, Robert. At least
Wayne Gretzky of Shoreham.
Yeah, at least on the lacrosse field. That is about as high praise as you can get. And Kirschis this year living up to his 20. Well, with all the assists he's had in this game, probably close to 30 points now, but that's his 8th goal on the season. And Shoreham wins the face-off. Another pole goal opportunity. Liam Taylor losing to have that long stick. A scoop, and then off the crossbar for the 8th grade Gregoric. McEntee, or rather Parker, excellent effort to find the ball, but how about this ride? It's a swarm of bees with blue heads. Diving shot. I'm tripping over my words, but Walendowski able to ward off the shot, and he's going to direct things here.
That swarm was incredible. They just descended and decided we're going to take this ball back. I'm impressed, too, again, with the athleticism of both of these teams, how quick off the transition.
How about that? A broken stick. It gives you an idea. You know those cartoons where the like flies like buzz around and then like they leave and there's nothing there?
Yeah.
Right,
the corn cob is
yeah,
spinning.
exactly. It's kind of like that. I mean, that was just vicious for Shoreham.
You got to love it, though, you know, to be the kind of team that has that kind of energy and just the collective thought there. They were going to take that ball and bully it away no matter what.
And look, this wasn't something that Mike Taylor said, but maybe just my own observation. Losing that Long Island championship game to Manhasset, I mean, both teams had so much college-ready talent, so much attacking talent, where Manhasset was a little bit better, was defensive. They were just tougher, stronger, more aggressive, and you can tell that's an emphasis for Shoreham. This is the first time in a decade they've had access to a weight room, and Mike Taylor says, I mean, you can just see the difference in these kids. They are in a different place from just a pure fitness perspective than a year ago. And here comes Ryan Parker operating from X, Gregoric tagging him. Parker trying to pick out a cutter, hounding defense now from Alex Kershis, flattening Parker, who was looking for a call. That is some good, clean, physical lacrosse from Alex Kershis. And flag the other way against East Islip. A frustrated Matt Baldino trying to get it back.
And these Wildcats just slowing things down, trying to set up another offensive opportunity.
Yeah, well, free possession here now, Robert. I think with that penalty doesn't start until they lose the ball. It's kind of like Aaron Rodgers, right? You take advantage of it.
Just take your time. Take your time and. Oh, goodness.
And Gregoric blows by Kalinowski, trying to set up his youngest brother, Noah. I'm going to say it as many times as he touches the ball. He is a middle schooler, folks. The next star in this program. Inside dodge, and Walendowski able to get his body on it. Initially could not find the ball. Wilson crossed the crease, and that'll kickstart the penalty.
And as you said it there with Gregoric, you know, just kind of asserting himself. Again, 8th grade. But you see the IQ of that kid out there, too. He just knows what's going on, and that's a legacy-type player.
And it's what's so fun about this one is you have the generations for both these teams, right? We talk about McEntee and Kershis are national recruits right now. I mean, you have two guys in Noah Gregoric and Sean Hannigan who look like they're going to be top 50 ranked recruits in the next couple of years. One a freshman, one an 8th grader. And I always love, Robert, when those guys cross over for 1 year. You could say, oh, wow, McEntee played with Hannigan. Like, looking back at it 10 years later, like, oh, Noah Gregoric got to play with Liam Kershis. That's amazing. Oh, behind the headshot from Liam Kershis. Walendowski, I don't think that save was intentional. And then a absolute rocket goes high from Alex Kershis.
Yeah, that was a laser beam there by Kershis. But like you said, especially if they're playing against each other down the road, you know, you look at it like these guys were once teammates. They know their tendencies, and I'm sure those wins are always a little more tasty.
Yeah, just how much talent was there on one field at one time? I mean, people are going to be looking back at this game who really follow the sport and just maybe their jaws will drop. The time on the man up dwindling, tripping is Kershis, and now another flag on a slash. Will go against Liam Allen for East Islip.
And it's going to be a 1-minute penalty here.
Yeah, so right when, I mean, East Islip just barely holding on with under 90 seconds left in the half. And I got to imagine, I mean, with that run that Shoreham went on, Robert, they would take a 2-goal deficit at half. 3, little dicier against a team as good as Shoreham-Wading River.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. You don't want to be down at all, but right now, if you could hold it at 2, especially with a man down, you've done something successful here.
Ball will start off in the stick of Kershis. Gregoric, now Wilson. Noah Gregoric, back door, wide open was Kershis, but the great Walendowski able to save it.
An incredible save there, and then to cover it up and try to keep possession. A really nice job there by Walendowski.
Yeah, and then unable to keep it off that end line is Brendan McCaffrey, so Shoreham will get yet another chance. It just feels like a matter of time until they put in that 9th goal as Walendowski dodging bullet after bullet.
And Ryan Wilson now quarterback in this one.
Tagged by Charlie Heffernan playing that midfield. Noah Gregor, that hit the crossbar. How much closer can they get without scoring? And they'll throw it away. With 42 seconds to go, an appreciative cheer from the East Islip faithful. And now we said 2 goals would be good. One goal deficit would be even better if you're a fan of the Redmen.
Bring it back the other way, yeah. And Walendowski's going to kiss the cage on that one.
Man, they don't even try to ride McEntee, that 4-4 speed. Deterrent. Bernardos, and here's McEntee. Bernardo's trying to sneak open middle. Shoreham do a nice job maintaining their structure. Reset Kalinowski, one-on-one. The Stony Brook commit a step. Galfano eats it up. Hail Mary pass, 5 seconds to go in the quarter. It'll go high, bounce out, and that'll do it. An 8-6 ball game at the break. A game of runs, 4-1 start for East Islip. Shoreham got the next 6. East Islip got the next 2. And then a goal from Liam Kirschis to wrap up a thrilling first half.
Yeah, it is back and forth. Both keepers playing a pretty solid game, too. It's a game where they're going to have to try to limit turnovers, Gavin, because a lot of those goals came off those turnovers in the transition game, and the athleticism of this team, you just can't let that happen. Both teams playing aggressive. We'll see if the Redmen could take some of that momentum and that good energy and try to take a lead in the second half.
We mentioned one of the games of the year, not just in Suffolk County, not just on Long Island, but in New York State. Shoreham-Wading River leads it at the half, 8-6. We'll be back in about 10 minutes on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Dante does it again! Defensive play. Dante Vidaro. Illico ties it up.
Move by Yeso steps up and scores.
A jump shot for Nell.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, softball, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs, or call 516-403-2050.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page.
403-2050. Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media. Did you just have the best athletic year of your life, and now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds, as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com. Varsity Media is offering a video folder that you can customize to meet your needs. A photo of your athlete can be elegantly placed in the front panel. Essential statistics with a biography can be printed on the inside panel, and videos can be downloaded and viewed on an LCD screen for as long as 2 hours. The attractive video folder can be placed on a coffee table and instantly becomes a conversation starter. Order your video folder today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click Catalogs, or give us a call at 516-403-2050.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Second half about to get underway here from East Islip High School, Boomer Esiason Stadium. Pretty good athlete back in this, some pretty good athletes in this one. 8-6 lead for Shoreham-Wading River. A big run, East Islip, though. Nice job responding to end the half.
Yeah, and one of the things that we said early on in the game, could the East Islip young fellas hold up physically? They're doing more than that. They've been very effective, and we've spoken a lot about Noah Gregoric. They are the defending Suffolk County C champions. So we are watching right now a team that can get it done. Been there before.
And last season, I mean, that was kind of the game that Shoreham, everything clicked for them a year ago, right? They came in, and I remember talking to Mike Taylor. He said, it's frustrating because I know we have the talent, and it's not even that our guys are playing selfishly. It's the fact that they think the best way to help the team is by doing everything themselves. And once it clicked that, no, it's to play together and to supplement each other, it happened in that East Islip game, and it happened like in the middle of the game because they were down 3-1, and it was like going to be, all right, like we're really going to lose another game. And from that point forward, they didn't lose again until they played Manhasset in the Long Island Championship, beat undefeated Mount Sinai. It's just a total turning point in their season. They're so many pieces back, looking to carry that momentum over to this year.
And like you said, with Coach Taylor, very familiar with this team. He's been around for a while, 9 seasons, and familiar with the community as well. Playing that zone defense mixed, and they're doing a really nice job defensively. Other than those quick breaks that East Islip's had, they're not really giving them much time to set up. And on the flip side, East Islip doing a good job hanging in there, Gavin. I know that they're down on the scoreboard and they had a lead early at one point, but they did hang in. They had to play with a man down with a minute and a half left. Not an ideal situation, but not only were able to, withstand it, but create an offensive opportunity as well.
Yeah, and East Islip, I mean, we talked about, if you're Coach Zumo, what do you say to your guys when it just felt like a repeat of last year? And we unfortunately don't have a State Farm audio assist, but we can guess. Like, he figured out a way to settle his team down, and we saw them especially at the face-off circle. Camden Bloom doing a really nice job holding his own and maybe even getting the better of Liam Gregoric in that second quarter, and it just gave East Islip time to settle in, and then that awesome transition goal from Baldino to Sean Hannigan.
Yeah, and that was an absolutely beautiful goal there. It also shows that East Islip can hang. They got those 2 goals after the 6 unanswered, and that was an important moment for them. And then, withstanding that minute and a half, I think that's what you highlight as Coach Zumo. You go in there and say, hey, guys, we can make these runs. We've made these runs. It's all a matter of timing when we get them.
So, pair of changes at the face-off X for both these teams. In for East Islip now, it's number 40, Chase Camphora. And for Shoreham-Wading River, it's Mike Clemente getting a chance on face-off. Not one of the names that was mentioned to us pregame. So both coaches trying to go into their bench, put some fresh legs. Maybe fresh hands is the better term on face-off, as we got a tie-up. The first matchup of the day for those two, racing out for the ground ball. McEntee able to get the scoop. And East Islip an opportunity to cut the deficit to 1.
And a really strong face-off there, as you saw both of them battling. And here come the Red Men.
Yeah, operating here is Ferraro, still trying to get on track this season, at least statistically. Bit of a slow start by his standards. And on the tie-up, and now the diving shot. How about that for getting on track? It's Ferraro.
And McEntee looked like he was upset that he got caught up, but then that ball knocked loose, dislodged, and picked up there by Ferrara. And what a goal. We'll take another look at it. I don't know how he did that. It's another magic trick. These falling down goals, and then to put the arms out like, ta-da, look what I can do. And this is a 1-goal game. Gav, they needed this to start the second half.
At this point, we got to imagine Tom Zumo just teaches that, right? We saw Ryan Parker do it, and now Matt Ferraro
it's part of the game
gets
plan.
In on the act.
Well, you know what's nice about it, too, Gavin? If you don't score a goal, you try to draw that infraction, try to get the foul. But, yeah, 2 goals the same way, falling down, little bouncers.
And it was a great job by Liam Taylor, who almost had the forced turnover. Now they're running again, looking to tie it in and out of the stick of Jack Kalinowski.
Yeah, he just couldn't get a handle on it. That was another good scoring opportunity there.
And Ryan Wilson trying to slow things up here. Robert, you were talking to me a little bit during halftime about the vacillating pace of the Shoreham offense. We saw them try to be a bit more methodical in the first half, and at points for Mike Taylor, that's actually what he's asked for out of this team. He felt they were playing a little bit too loose. He wanted them to take a little bit more time. But once they found that tempo, they started dominating this ball game. As there's a deflection right around the cage, and Shoreham will keep it.
Yeah, Kirschus gets the reset there. Nice spin move and dodge.
Oh, man. How about the brakes on Liam Kirschus, and then an even better stop from Walendowski. Charging back the other way is Parker. Parker, a guy making his debut, a little bit shaken up from the offseason. Obviously, the bumps and bruises, I'm sure, for football, even months later, maybe still lingering. One of the best linebackers on Long Island, a dominant force in East Islip's football Long Island championship this year. Up top, McEntee dodging against Gregoric, and an empty stick shot for Parker.
Yeah, second time they lost the handle on it on a good scoring opportunity, but this time again, they cough it back up on the mishap.
And that golden swarm leads the transition the other way. Gregor calling for the ball. He'll get it on the run. He'll tickle the twine. And Shoreham back up by 3. Make it 2.
Liam Gregoric wasting no time. As soon as he got that handle on the ball, it was a laser beam. And what a great offensive play. And there's that finish. You see Gregoric getting back up, celebrating with his team.
Second goal of the game for Liam. 13th on the season for the Johns Hopkins commit. Even on a team with Liam Kirschus, Mike Taylor calls Liam Gregoric their most accurate shooter. You saw the ball placement there.
And even the pass. I mean, the pass, it's like he wound up and the pass made it in the wind-up, and it was just fluid, one motion and in the net. Fantastic goal.
Yeah, so both coaches sticking with their backup face-off man's Canfora, winning the battle against Clemente.
You got to feel a little for the Redmen. Again, they get that quick goal, just what the doctor ordered, and then back the other way. These Wildcats are really difficult to tame.
Yeah, Shoreham just operating on another level this year. So Kalinowski and now Heffernan. Heffernan, pretty quiet game since getting the second goal.
Yeah, you can say a lot about McEntee, too. I mean, he's made some nifty moves. He's working hard, but they are just physically beating him up a little bit out there.
That's a nice look from Heffernan. Low shot back up there in the form of a Hannigan shot off the mark that time by Bernardo. And it's a great point for McEntee. Because in that 4-1 start, I mean, he had 2 goals and an assist to open this game. It's been fairly quiet since then.
Yeah, well, they're tuning in on him, and they're definitely making their presence felt. What a shot
Oh,
there.
There's Baldino. He beat 2 defenders, and then just an ace to that top right corner.
And again, we'll say it. It's been quiet, no longer quiet. So he's kind of the quiet hero in the first half, but he's making some noise. And there's that lefty shot over the right shoulder of Galfano, and he's the beneficiary of McEntee getting the double coverage. I mean, he's really starting to open this field up and making his presence felt. Look out for number 12.
Yeah, and Tom Zummo said, like, look, if whoever you poll, like, someone is going to have an advantage for our side. And this game, it's been Baldino more often than not. His second goal coming off a hat trick, a 5-point performance against Smithtown West. And we mentioned the efficiency coming into this one, 93% shooting on the field. That is not a number that's going to hold up. But even over 3 games against quality competition, even on an empty net, that is astounding. Kalinowski will slow things down after another win for Canfora. Got to imagine Liam Gregoric, Mike Taylor trying to preserve him by not also using him on faceoff, already playing offense, already playing defense. He's going to have to go back to Gregoric because Clemente not getting it done right now. Pass inside, Kalinowski nailed as he dunked it in, and 1 goal, and we should be tied at 9 apiece unless they rule the shove was before the finish. I think they're going to give him the goal. They will.
And they should, and Liam Taylor there, I don't know if they're going to call that one flagrant or not, but my goodness, that was a Mack truck.
Yeah, let's take another. We were talking about that as a big-time hit.
And an illegal hit.
And we were discussing before the game, I mean, it's often a balancing act for Liam Taylor in terms of playing hyper-aggressively, but towing that line, and that time just going a little over it.
Yeah, that was a pretty rough one there. I mean, he had the numbers teed up, and you don't want to see those hits from behind like that, too. Not an opportunity to defend yourself. But nonetheless, we are tied at 9 apiece. And it looks like Coach Zummo is trying to figure some things out there with the officials. A few substitutions here for the Redmen.
And that's the kind of play that can turn a game, right? You finally tie it up. If you're East Islip battling back from 3 goals down, and on top of that, you have the man up, an opportunity to take a lead.
Yeah, this could be a really, really important moment for them. And, yeah, I'm not sure. Is it a 1 or 2 minute penalty we got here?
Not 100% sure. They have not put it up on the board yet, so we'll wait on that. Officials still seem to be discussing it, talking things over with Mike Taylor. And here's the other thing. Not only are you man down, you lose your best defender in
Yeah.
Liam Taylor.
And if honestly, you don't want to be that guy, but if I'm Coach Zumo, I'm asking for a flagrant. I'm looking to get those minutes, as many minutes as I can there. That was a tough hit against a defenseless attacker on a play that, it wasn't going to stop that goal. So we'll see if they put that up on the board and what kind of advantage the Redmen are going to have for the foreseeable future. And it's Liam Gregoric back on the faceoff now, Gavin, for the Wildcats.
This will be him and I believe still Canfora out there. We'll confirm that in just a sec.
As soon as they move.
And this is, there's a reason Gregoric's out there for this faceoff. If you can just kill this penalty. But Canfora battling hard, and East Islip going to come up with it, an opportunity to take the lead for the first time since the middle of the second quarter. With 7:45 to go in the third, the man-up offense on the field for Tom Zumo's squad. What a difference a year makes. Last season, East Islip goes up to an early advantage and then give 11 of the next 12 goals. Same thing happens. The Redmen able to respond, fight back, tie the game as they've scored 5 of the last 7. And how about this ball movement?
Yeah, they are taking their time. They're going to take advantage of this power play opportunity.
Hannigan, Kalinowski stepping down. Ferraro back to Kalinowski. Low shot, and it was deflected off the leg that time of Danny Green.
Yeah, Green felt it too. You saw him pick his leg up, and he felt that one. Still feeling it. The officials are going to go check with him, make sure that he's all right.
Excuse me, that was George Green who took the hit. Judging by the fact that he's still wincing a bit. I know it was Danny.
No, you got it right. Yeah, you got it right.
I shouldn't doubt myself. I know my greens. Hannigan. Baldino lost it. And now an opportunity for Shoreham to kill some clock. And now Tom Zumo calling for a ride, but a very light one. East Islip, I think just with the transition game is Shoreham cautious about applying too much pressure.
And wisely so. They want to maintain possession right now. The Redmen don't want to make any mistakes. And you could see Liam Taylor pacing on the sidelines. He's looking to try to get back in this one.
Just a pure competitor is Liam Taylor.
And he's going to stroll back on. Successfully killed. So it was a 1-minute penalty. And they are at full strength now. And I'm surprised the Redmen didn't try to put a little bit more pressure on. You don't want to make a mistake, but at the same time, you got the man advantage.
Liam Gregoric strolls in now. The setup for Semino. Had that excellent goal in half one. Trying to find some space. Semino lost his footing, and that penalty will go against Brendan McCaffrey. 1-minute penalty on that cross-check.
And the flags flew. I mean, Semino, look, he had a nice dodge, a spin move there. And he looked like he was going to try to get to the net. You know, you saw it the minute he got that ball from behind the cage that he was looking to try to score there. And the flags flew, and it'll be a penalty, and it looks like it's going to get called. Oh, who are we getting here?
Yeah, McCaffrey.
It's going to be McCaffrey? Yeah, it's going to be Brendan McCaffrey sitting on the sideline. So down a long pole.
That'll be Ryan Wilson starting things up for Shoreham. Able to deny the EMO for East Islip, now one of their own.
Again, folks, this game's knotted at 9 in the third quarter. Back and forth game.
Oh, what a find from Noah Gregoric. Walendowski able to deny Liam Gregoric at the rim. Or at the cage.
Yeah, look, he might have just got the tip of that stick on there to make that save. But a quick spin move there by Gregoric.
It was a proverbial rim. Liam Gregoric. And here's Kershus, Alex Kershus. All the brothers. You just got to go first name on this Shoreham team. Liam drops a defender. Extra move. Winding shot, and Walendowski
I mean, rare is the game where you give up 9 goals with 4.5 minutes in the third. And you say, you know what, the goalies have been spectacular. The goalies have been spectacular.
Yeah, that one looked like it was floating wide, but a nice job just getting possession. And he makes it look easy, I'll tell you, on some of those shots. Like, he barely moves, calm, cool, and collected. And you can just see it in the body language out there. That's got to help a team. I know, like, even when I coach, you got a keeper that just, it's like another day at the office, and you have a lot of confidence in them, and it permeates throughout the entire team.
You know what? When you have the thrown stick save on your resume, you've earned that confidence.
Yeah, he's got to get a still shot for that for every social media picture he's got.
I'm making a fat head of myself if I were him. That's still a thing? I have no idea. Heffernan, Baldino, the ball screen, trying to get the switch. Heffernan against the triple team, had it pop out. And back the other direction, George Green.
I don't even know how he found the space that he did. He just kind of ran into, again, we said the swarm of bees down there, ran into the swarm, but the ball was dislodged, and it's going to be the Wildcats. Liam Gregoric loses a handle on it, but collected nicely by Liam Kirschus.
Kirschus, the biggest difference in his game this year, the addition of that weight room. So Shoreham-Wading River, a decade ago, they had a weight room like most high schools. Something happened with the wrestling room. It had to be condemned. And then so the weight room became the wrestling room, and it took 10 years to build a new one. It's back in business, and Shoreham-Wading River, I mean, they've won state championships since that's happened, but you got to imagine an incredible disadvantage. And I mean, Mike Taylor could not say enough about what a difference that's made for Kirschus and this entire team. Shot high that time from, guess who, Liam Kirschus.
As you said it. Yeah, having a nice facility is a huge advantage as long as the players and coaches are taking advantage of it. And when you got a team like this, you know you're going to. So nice to see if they can get these boys in shape.
And again, I think especially with the way they lost to Manhasset, where they had the talent, as good as Manhasset was, back-to-back state champs, to probably win that game. And Manhasset defensively just a little bit more physical, and you can see on both sides of the ball, Shoreham, I mean, that is absolutely not a weakness this year. It's not a weakness for East Islip either. And what a bit of defending there from Kalinowski.
And Cooper. I don't want to take any. Cooper really was just all over him on that play, and Kalinowski with the final shoulder.
And turned right back over the other way. Liam Taylor back in, getting the ball back, and a scoop in space by Noah Gregoric. We mentioned before, and Gregoric taking those backward shots when he was still in diaper. You can see how intuitive it is for him. And then what a takeaway.
Ryan
Got
Parker.
The stick to Ryan Parker.
That was awesome. He took advantage of a little nap over there and said, we're not going to let this happen. Got tripped up there, nothing called.
And then the hustle the other way. Shoreham coming right back and battling Alex Kirschus. Won it. Noah Gregoric comes up a little gimpy. He got his right leg taken out. It is just a battle right now on this field.
And Coach Zumo angry, and you can't blame him. That was a trip there, and now it looks like there's going to be a timeout called, and it's going to be Zumo. He wants an explanation. He wants to see what's going on over there.
Yeah, he got that timeout the second they got the ball, wanting to slow things down.
And while we slow things down, we're going to get to a speedy play. So things are going to slow down, and we're going to have the speedy now play of the game. Gavin, show us this one. I think this was an easy call.
Yeah, speedy play of the game brought to you by www.speedislandny.com. Let's check it out. We were debating it at halftime, Robert, but at the end of the day, there was only one option. Kieran Clifford, the pole goal, and look who is running away from Matt McEntee with that 4.4 speed. If you're Kieran Clifford, that's one that goes on the resume.
Yeah, that was a no-brainer for me. There were a couple beautiful opportunities to call that speedy play of the game, but when you could outrun McEntee while you're cradling, you're doing something pretty darn good. So while on the field, they wanted to slow it down. At Varsity Media, we keep it speedy.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Robert. Tom Zumo getting possession, calling that timeout, 2:14 to go in what just feels like a regular season classic. We mentioned all the talent on both sides. Shoreham-Wading River, 21st ranked team in the country. East Islip making a case that they should be ranked in that national USA Today poll. Liam Gregoric obviously headed to Johns Hopkins. Liam Kirschus top 20 player in the country as we take a look at our varsity media poll. St. Anthony's, Manhasset, Chaminade, Shoreham-Wading River, 4th, Garden City, 5th at 3-1, Southside 7th. Remember, that game was this week, so that'll be updated. Southside will pop over ahead of Garden City, and I am East Islip all the way down at 10. I'm going to call that a little Nassau County bias by our buddy Ben Turchin and company. I think East Islip should be a little bit higher up and maybe proving it today. They have been excellent in this one. Point being, multiple top 50 recruits on the field for this game as the flag comes in from across the field. I'm not quite sure what that was for. This has been epic, Robert, and it feels like it's just building to an even greater conclusion.
Yeah, that call might be an Omi from the one Zumo was complaining about. We'll see.
So Ferraro back to McEntee. McEntee scoreless in the second half. We'll pass it off here. Racing in, but unable to corral the pass was Ferraro. And an injured player down for the Wildcats, trying to get back up under his own power, able to do so, and maybe going to go to the sidelines to catch a break is Ryan Wilson.
Yeah, and you saw there on that break by McEntee again, it was Liam Taylor taking him down. So Taylor playing a really, really physical game today, and that was something that they talked about before the game. We said the coach's son, super aggressive athlete, physical, plays it close, and, you're going to get penalties that way, but you certainly make the offense uncomfortable. So as far as the flag goes,
seems to be against Shoreham. Tom Zumo, though, either upset or looking for an explanation on something, maybe wondering why play hasn't been resumed as Wilson is getting checked out on that sideline, has his helmet up, so we'll keep you as updated as we can on that from the press box. And EI had a chance to take the lead with a man up, couldn't get it done last time. As McEntee plays catch with Ferrero. Now inside, Hannigan, time, space, and the delivery. Second goal of the game for the freshman. And East Islip, for the first time in the second half, has the lead.
And a really nice goal, taking advantage of the short side as you take a look here. And it was a sweet pass there by McEntee. And Hannigan wasted no time on that shot. Tough angle. But, again, like you said, it's a lead for East Islip. The Redmen up 10-9 with 1:25 remaining in the third period.
Sean Hannigan, as much as I was saying, the quotes on Liam Kirschus were ridiculous for Shoreham-Wading River. Tom Zumo, similar things to say about his freshman, calling him the smartest lacrosse player I've ever encountered. And Tom has coached Joey Spallina and Andrew McAdory, maybe the two best players to come out of Long Island, sans Chris Gray this decade. So that is about as high praise as you can get. Already considered a coach on the field, directing players 4 or 5 years older than him. And here's Clifford again. Oh, no, this time it was Taylor. And the second pole goal denied. East Islip did not want that embarrassment.
No, but again, it just goes to show you, and we said it, Taylor is so aggressive out there, slamming his stick. And I think, all right, no, it didn't fall apart.
That's a bad look.
Yeah, he slammed it down pretty hard. And
I think it's cool if you slam it and it doesn't fall apart. If it falls apart, it's not good.
But it shows you the kind of athlete that kid is, and you love having someone like on the team. As long as you can corral him and make sure that he's not getting penalties there, that's the kind of guy that gets the engine going for the team.
You got to imagine it's a conversation around the dinner table. Here's room for Wilson off that injury. Appears to be just fine. Caught in a sandwich, and it skirts out to Grigoric. And he's tagged by Kalinowski.
Sorry, I thought Wilson was making an argument there that Kalinowski got the stick up in his mug. His head kind of fired back there. Might have made a little contact with the helmet. He was looking for it, but not seen by the officials.
Yes, this is a fun matchup. Liam Grigoric filling some big shoes. His older brother, Alec, the leading goal scorer on Long Island, was 70 last year. And now it's Alex Kirsch's jump shot. Wild look, but sensing he had backup in the form of his brother, Liam. This Shoreham team, it's a testament to both Mike Taylor and the talent in the area and just the strength of this program that they could lose Alec Grigoric, who, again, led all of Long Island in points and goals, or at least goals, and Stephen Kane, who's now at Marist. He had 70 goals in his own right last season. That is a lot of talent out the door, and they're essentially just as good this year, at least 3 games in.
Sure. When you replace one Grigoric with another, and you got another 5 years of them.
That's the way to go. I feel like Mike Taylor's like paying off the parents. Like, hey, you want to think about one more kid? And
and you're never moving.
Yeah. And that'll do it for quarter number 3. A 10-9 lead for East Islip. They've scored 6 of the last 8 goals to get back into it. We'll have the 4th for you next 12 minutes to decide this one on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's premier high school sports network. Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds, as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com.
One after we do the features. Cool. Thanks, buddy.
So we are back in action here. And, Gavin, we've got a 10-9 lead, East Islip. We're watching a beauty.
It's been a fantastic game. I mean, a game of runs, right? East Islip got off to that 4-1 lead, and then echoes of last year where East Islip fans at home are booing me every time I bring this up. It was 11-1 burst in that ball game for Shoreham-Wading River that essentially ended it before the 4th quarter started. East Islip has had nearly a year to think about it, and when things got a little shaky, down 7-4 after giving up 6 straight goals, they've responded a 6-2 run to retake the lead. As we start the 4th quarter here on the Varsity Media Sports Network, is Chase Canfora, who had an incredible 3rd quarter in the circle coming off the bench for East Islip, replacing Camden Bloom. And then Liam Gregoric back to try to finish this game off for Shoreham-Wading River, but it's Canfora again. I think his 4th win in 5 tries now by my count. Or 4th and 6, as that was a dangerous pass back. And Walendowski was able to stop the ball coming out of the stick of Brendan McCaffrey. Walendowski, this is an area he's gotten a lot better working. This clearance game, one of the finer arts of goaltending that has to be mastered throughout the high school level.
And that difference in the faceoff circle certainly paying off some dividends as well.
You always hear that phrase, possession is 9/10 of the law. It's 9/10 of lacrosse. You can't score if you don't have it.
I like that. I can steal that for a lot of sports. That's
Yeah,
a good one.
I guess it's all yours. I think some other people have probably said it.
It's all right.
Yeah, Ferraro.
Judge Judy.
Danny Green. Oh, and again, just missing trying to connect with Baldino. But they get it right back. Baldino, 2 pumps and a finish. 11-9 EI.
And I want to give proper credit there. I believe it was Matt Ferraro with that powerful smash to dislodge the ball. Here's the finish. And let me take a look there.
Yeah, you got it.
It was okay. Yeah, just like on that play, beautiful goal. But Ferrara just creamed Alex Kirschus and took that ball away and then got it in a position to get scoring. So I got to give a lot of credit there to Ferrara for making that play happen.
Yeah, Ferrara. I mean, coming over from Islip, where he was one of the stars of that team, and knowing he was going to be in an environment where it was like, all right, everyone's a star, everyone's a D1 recruit, seemingly for East Islip in the midfield and on attack, and he's found a way to contribute, obviously with his scoring, with his playmaking, but also doing the little things like the ride.
Yeah, and you just said it there. I mean, like this club said he was an easy fit into this team, and right there, the physicality, a lot of shoulder-on-shoulder play. And another steal there.
Now on the face-off, McEntee leading the break. Back-to-back goals for Baldino. He has 4. East Islip has ripped off 5 in a row to answer the Shoreham burst.
And again, that McEntee connection with Baldino, I said it a few times today, and definitely the hero of this game so far. And we'll take a look. Look at the speed of McEntee. He gets that pass, and a beautiful, again, falling down shot for Baldino to finish. And it is a 3-goal lead. East Islip's got to be feeling themselves right now.
Baldino, a guy who battled through health issues, bunch of different injuries a year ago, and was excellent last year, but has come back this season on another level. 7 goals over his last 2 games, 4 of them today, up to 17. Less than 5 full games, I should say, into the season now.
And Gav, for me, he's the player of the game for the Redmen. Just doing everything as McEntee started drawing a lot of attention. He found space, and again, just taking advantage of that left-handed shot. And a beautiful finish there, again, by a sweet pass from McEntee.
He might be the player of the game. Chase Canfor, the player of the second half for East Islip. Get another face-off win that time going against Liam Taylor. But how about this ride from Shoreham-Wading River? And looking for a flag is Ryan Parker, and getting one after Taylor, another poor decision, swiping down after the play was over.
Yeah, and again, we don't want to keep drawing attention to it, but the things that make Taylor so strong and such a good player are kind of haunting when it comes to things like that. I don't know if that's a frustration hit, being down in the game now and feeling that kind of pressure, but he's got to stay away from that. You can't put your team at that kind of disadvantage, down 3 with 10 left in the game.
And a golden opportunity for East Islip as we take a look at the upcoming schedules for both these teams. I mean, for East Islip, this was kind of the game of their offseason. But if there's another one, you got to look to April 17th. That Bayport Blue Point team, excellent. Certainly going to be Shoreham-Wading River's greatest challengers in Class C, along with Mount Sinai.
And then you got those Islip battles with West Islip on the 19th and Islip on the 25th. So lots of good lacrosse coming up for this East Islip Redmond team.
And then that West Islip game, a rematch of the Suffolk County Championship game a year ago, won 10-6 by West Islip, largely on the strength of C.J. Schwartz. And East Islip's inability to compete at the face-off X, someone like Chase Canfor could make a difference as we take a look at Shoreham-Wading River's upcoming schedule, and they have some challenges as well. That game on my birthday, I'm gonna set, my girlfriend's flying in from Arizona. I'm gonna tell, hey, I need 2 hours to tune in to Manhasset, Shoreham-Wading River, and how about that back-to-back travel to Manhasset, to Mount Sinai? I mean, if 2 programs have defined lacrosse on Long Island these last couple of years, you got to throw Garden City, Cold Spring Harbor in that mix, but Manhasset, Mount Sinai, maybe 2 of the defining ones. That's going to be a heck of a run in that trip against, or Pleasantville, coming to Shoreham, one of the great teams in New York State.
Yeah, and those games in Manhasset and Mount Sinai, those are the kind of games that make teams contenders, make them champions. You got to get through those gauntlets.
And then that could be your Suffolk County Championship preview right after you get your Long Island Championship preview. That's how good those 2 teams are, though. I guess not this year because Manhasset moving up to Class B, so Shoreham, if they can get by Mount Sinai, if they can get by Bayport Blue Point, a little bit more of a window. But today they're having their issues getting by East Islip. Another one. Ferraro, his second of the game, 6 in a row for East Islip.
And tally up another assist from McEntee as we get a look at this one. And McEntee just all the control, finds the open attacker. And what a again, I'm just using the word laser beam repetitively, but I don't know what else to call him. Ferrara just igniting that one, and a beautiful shot, top right corner. And down 4, that's a huge goal. I know that it sounds silly because there's a lot of time left, but to me, 4, it's kind of a backbreaker. And you got to hope that Coach Taylor talks to young Taylor and says, hey, we got to harness that energy now in a good way. We cannot get any more infractions called against us.
It was 6 straight goals for Shoreham, 6 straight now for East Islip. And finally, a win at the face-off X for Liam Gregoric. He'll go coast to coast. Oh, that one was in then out. How was that saved by Walendowski? Gregoric going coast to coast. He still wants an explanation. He thought it crossed that goal line.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a few questions there. And even Coach Taylor on the sidelines asking some questions.
Yeah, trying to take advantage of the chaos. Ferraro, Taylor battling back in off the bench after that man-up goal for East Islip. And Shoreham will get it back. 9:24 to go. down by 4, still time, and we've seen, Robert, they can absolutely score in bunches.
Also entering that field now, Andrew Cooper out there. And he's converted short stick, playing with the long.
And 2 flags come in. I, again, didn't see anything. But you tend to, I mean, the penalty's obviously on East Islip because play hasn't stopped.
Right. Good time to get Cooper in the game then. That's what he's good at.
Kirschis, from a goal-scoring perspective, has been mostly locked up. Just 1 on the game. Hunting for space here. Not finding much as Kalinowski batted the ball free. And now the man-up opportunity will start for East Islip as there was another penalty on that play. So it might be 2 man-up.
And that might be on, you think it's 2 on the Red Men?
I think both were against them. You see
Okay.
Bernardos and Kalinowski. And now it's Ferraro coming off.
I saw Meskel come in with a late hit. I'm curious if that's is that what's going on?
You might have been right, but then we'll see how they sort this out.
To me, there should have been a penalty called on Meskel. It was a late hit after Cooper scooped it up. He had possession, and the whistle was going to get blown, and then Meskel came in and creamed him. So I guess we'll take a look at what's going on here.
Yeah, and I wonder if those will be offsetting. Let's see.
I can't see it any other way. I mean, maybe there was 2, but
so
I think
Kalinowski comes back in.
As a Meskel.
And George Green. It's going to be Shoreham ball. So they're definitely awarding that first penalty, but Meskel, to your point, is in the penalty box. So
Yeah.
I think you got it right, Robert.
It was a late hit. I mean, it was uncalled for. The whistle was going to get blown, and just a careless play. And again, I mean, if you're Coach Taylor, you got to get frustrated with that type of. Those are 2 infractions in a row, 2 fouls in a row that happened after the whistle.
Yeah, and the initial penalty was on Bernardos for East Islip, so it's just going to be a man down for each team for a minute.
And the Wildcats could have used a nice advantage there.
And I stand corrected. It is the East Islip ball.
Well, they had possession, and then Meskel got the late hit. That's a tough break there. Tough. You know, as a coach, I feel for those types of plays because you got to say those are mental. Your team's got to be getting frustrated now, making some goofy penalties that you definitely don't need.
And if you're Mike Taylor, that's why you play these games, right, to experience that frustration and then to have an opportunity to learn from it. Because if you're winning 19-4 like they did last time out against Eastport South Manor, you're never testing whether you can handle those moments. East Islip getting the best out of Shoreham and maybe teaching them where they have to work as well. But still time for the Wildcats. And you mentioned the shot clock coming into the high school game a year from now. Not here yet, so EI wise to drain as much time as they can off the clock as Taylor forces the turnover. But then just bats it forward. Never got clear possession of the ball. Second effort, though, able to navigate it to Clifford. Clifford, though, loses it on the ride. Ferraro coming up with it. Now Ferraro in a sea of gold, drowning Parker from his knees. Man, they teach knee lacrosse in the East Islip community. On your knees, on your back, doesn't matter. You should still be able to execute in the school of Zumo.
And McEntee on that play, behind the play, was hurt. He's up, but he just called to get off the field. A little banged up, slow getting up, so we'll keep an eye on that.
East Islip has the depth to survive that for a moment. Certainly not in any extended sense. McEntee maybe just needing a breather as well. Coming on in his place is Christian Ventizello.
Up by 4. It's the right time, I guess, to get him a little bit of a break. 6 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in this game with the Red Man up by 4.
And here's Baldino with those 4 goals. Facing down Alex Kirschis. And this is why, Robert, so many around Long Island so excited for the shot clock. Will make for more thrilling finishes in a game like this, especially when you have an offense like Shoreham-Wading River that, with a shot clock particularly, is capable of ripping off 4 goals, but they have to get some stops first. Bernardos from Ferraro, and it's a game-high 5-goal advantage for East Islip.
Yeah, Bernardo's in a perfect spot there to finish that. And you can see the ball handled well down low. And a nice spinorama move there. Finds Bernardos out front, and just a can of corn there. That's an easy one to get in the net. So now a 5-goal deficit. And again, this is something that Coach Taylor's going to want to look back on and see what's going on. They are not out of it. Anything can happen, especially with the kind of runs that this Wildcat team is capable of. But they're going to have to get on their horse, collect their emotions, and try to get some things going on.
And Shoreham will get a chance here with the ball. 6 minutes left. I mean, the beauty of the face-off in the college game, you can get on a run. And what a move put on, spinning, and now losing it was Semino. And another stop for the great Walendowski.
I chuckle every time.
I tried a few versions of it. That's the one that's
you do. You got a few.
Yeah, you gotta workshop stuff.
It just reminds me of Hobby Boulin, the Boulin
yeah.
Wall they used to call him. Great goalie for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Kind of like it because I feel like it'd be a good wrestling name for him if he ever gets into WWE. Post Lacrosse.
And like you said, Gavin, that 80-second shot clock will definitely make a difference in these games, and something that most of Long Island's looking forward to, and a lot of coaches were hoping were going to happen, because you don't want to see these big delays. Keep the action going.
And also, you want these kids to be ready for the college game, and it's a disadvantage if other states have it and New York doesn't, and especially, I mean, New York first most years, second sometimes to Maryland in terms of college talent produced. And there's a broken stick, so charging off is Clifford. Advantage for the moment for East Islip. And Danny Green got the turnover, lost it again. Heffernan has it back in and out of the stick of McEntee. Anyone's ball, and this delay, even though time's against them, somewhat benefiting Shoreham-Wading River because they're down a player after Clifford lost that stick. Emerging from the back is EI, and with just over 4 minutes to go, no rush for Baldino.
No, and Baldino thought about it for a minute. It looked like he was making another run. And the smooth lefty, definitely some highlight reel scoring and assist moments this afternoon.
I mean, it's rare on a team full of Division I commits. You say in this situation, you want the ball in the stick of a freshman, but watch what he does. Hannigan, Baldino, pinpoint shot, 5th of the game, and East Islip is cruising with 3:56 to go.
You got to love his game, man. You know, Baldino just finding space, and you take a look at it here. He's just teed up right at the top, and an easy shot. People are going to line up to buy their number 12 jersey. Matt Baldino, one of the stars of this game.
And obviously he's not that or as explosive yet as a Joey Spallina, but where I see similarities between the best player on Long Island in recent memory and Sean Hannigan is just the composure at a young age. I mean, that is a freshman in a big game. Obviously, if you have the lead, you're a little less nervous, but just like never seems to be rushed when he has the ball on his stick.
Gavin, I'm going to ask you the question.
Yeah.
Right now, what are you seeing from a Wildcat team being down?
They look a little demoralized and understandably so because this version of the team has nothing to do with it. Like they don't know how to play with a deficit. And to be fair, in the first half they were down 4-1 and they came roaring back. But it just seemed similar to what we were saying about East Islip, a little shell-shocked right now.
I'm kind of scratching my head a little bit. The sense of urgency isn't there. They look like they're playing on their heels, and maybe it is not being in a position like this very often. We got a great cameraman, Tony, and producer Becca over here giving us plenty of opportunities to look back on this game. So Coach Taylor's definitely going to want to look at it because you're not always going to be in the driver's seat. And right now, they need to turn it up, not settle it down.
And we have to. I know I keep noting it, but, I mean, part of that, I think, is that they know they can't win at the face-off X right now. Chase Canfora totally flipped this game on his head when he was put in the second half. And that, I mean, Tom Zumo has 3 good options between Kalinowski, Bloom, and Canfora, and he picked the right guy for the second half.
And it's got to make you wonder how long he had that in the, in the pocket somewhere, because we weren't expecting to see that, and making a huge difference in this game.
And as a group this year, they're about 55%. And to be clear, Coach Zumo didn't say this. I would imagine by the end of the season he wants to have one reliable option there instead of cycling through three guys. And as of now, they decide they do a face-off competition, the practice before every game, which I'm sure is a lot of fun. The whole team probably gets to watch. It's exciting. But Camphora, making a case for the full-time job right now. A step here for Heffernan, using that 6'2" frame to shake off defenders. And look, Shoreham, still 2:41 to go. If they can't ultimately come back here, I said it before, but I'll say it again, Robert. I'm curious your thoughts on it. Like, this is why you play these types of games. This is why you play a Manhasset and a Mount Sinai and a Pleasantville. And in Suffolk County, you only get those two games that can't be played outside of your division, and you have to make the most of them. And there's such opportunities for information gathering.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be an information gathering moment, because, again, it just there's no sense of urgency here.
And that's something Mike Taylor's learning that this team has to develop. And it was very similar last year for Shoreham-Wading River, where it took them a while to find that toughness, to find that extra gear. And once they did, they didn't lose again until they played Manhasset.
But for 3 quarters, you saw the talent, you saw the physicality, the athleticism, finding the shots, challenging Walendowski. And now it's kind of going through the motions a little bit.
I'm not sure what, maybe an offsides or just too many numbers on the offensive side of the field for Shoreham, but another mistake cost them possession and a chance to cut this lead to 5. Again, it was a 9-7 ball game. It's been 8, make it 9 straight goals, as there's the exclamation point, and guess who? Matt Baldino, a 6-goal performance against one of the top 25 teams in America.
Absolutely incredible game for Baldino as we get another look at it. And just bada bing, bada boom, he finishes that thing up. 6 out of the 16 today. It is the Matt Baldino showing, I believe, 2 assists, if I tallied it correctly. So he's responsible for points on half of the goals.
It's ridiculous, especially on a team with this much talent.
Especially with 16 goals. To be involved on 8 of them.
Yeah, benefits a lot from being the lone lefty in the line. And I thought it was an interesting quote from, I think it was Tom Zumo, but it could have been Mike Taylor saying the same thing about his lefty. But one of them was saying it's a symptom of a healthy offense when your lefty is excelling, because it means all the righties are drawing a lot of attention, and you're able to pay that off. You're moving the ball, and it helps to have a lefty as talented as Matt Baldino, who knows how to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but we said, the left-handed shooting and the ability to handle the ball with the left, and then, again, to step up when McEntee is getting suffocated out there. They gave McEntee some space early on, and he was involved in 3 of the first 3. And then all of a sudden they started stuffing him down, and Baldino stepped up.
So Shoreham a lot to learn for this one. But for East Islip, you talk about responding to resiliency. A year ago, whether it was a talent issue or just a tenacity issue, they could not, when East Islip gave up all those goals, an 11-1 run. And I got to imagine a summer of seeing that film over and over again, talking about that game, and this week, what I assume was just a laser focus, all paid off, and they put together their own version of that. As I'll say it one more time, they've scored the last 9 goals in this game, and adequate revenge on a Shoreham team that embarrassed them a year ago.
And now looks like they're going to try to set something up. Bang in one more. Kirsch's had a shot that just went wide. He's got the ball again, and that one just wide. So 2 errant shots there by Kirsch's in the final minute.
And it's worth noting, again, it's as much as is back for Shoreham, offensively losing Alec Gregoric, losing Stephen Kane, those are big-time graduations. And for better, they have a sophomore, they have an 8th grader. And I think I was interrupted by a goal, but I was getting to this a little bit earlier. If you're Mike Taylor, as one more is put in by Ryan Wilson, you start an 9th grader, a sophomore and an 8th grader, not to be great in April, but to be great in June.
Right. Yeah, and to be great for the next few years. Absolutely.
So second of the day for Ryan Wilson, the Siena commit.
And here's a look at that goal. Again, it was Ryan Wilson finishing the ball. And we had to look at the clock, too. 8.9 seconds left. So 16-10. Sorry, Gav, what were you saying?
No, that's what I was getting at. Ryan Wilson, I mean, key piece on this team. Older brother Jake, now playing at Duke. As Canfora looks to notch one more win. I mean, look at Canfora up by 6 goals. He is still fighting. Canfora with the scoop, and that is a microcosm of this second half. What a comeback win for East Islip as they end the game on a 9-1 run to get some revenge on Shoreham-Wading River.
And you can see it out there, the celebration, lots of hugs around. Walendowski played a fantastic game. Again, 16-10, and he was one of the stars of this game. Tip our hat absolutely to Mr. Baldino, a phenomenal game. And on the other side, a really great 3 quarters there for the Wildcats. Just in the fourth quarter, let East Islip run away with it, and they got that run they were waiting for, and they never looked back.
And maybe we talk so much about Baldino. I mean, how about the effort by Walendowski, by Charlie Kalinowski, by Andrew Cooper, Brendan McCaffrey, Liam Allen, and that entire midfield line defensively. Before the last 10 seconds, they'd given up just 1 goal in the second half.
Yeah, fantastic job. And Cooper's another one I want to say a lot. You know, again, his physical play and taking advantage of a lot of opportunities out there, dislodging the ball and moving it back the other way. So a great game there.
So let's take an opportunity to thank our entire Varsity Media crew. It was a great job by our executive producer, Ben Turchin, getting us all set up. Our technical director, Becca Kazaks, starring in her role and getting all the shots. Tony DeMasso for my partner, Robert Anderson. I'm Gavin Shaw. Signing off here, a big-time non-conference win. East Islip 16, Shoreham-Wading River 10. East Islip moves to 5-0 undefeated on this young season here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.